Did you know that some fish can walk on land? It's true. There are many species of fish that can move around on land, and some of them can even travel hundreds of miles. But how do they do it? And why would they need to go on land in the first place? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. There are over 34,000 known species of fish in the world, and all of them have fins for swimming through the water. But not all of these fish are built for walking. In fact, there are only about 8% of fish species that have been found to have the ability to walk on land. However, scientists believe that this is an evolutionary adaptation that has happened independently many times throughout history. This means that there may be even more species of fish that can walk on land than we know about. Most of these species of fish live in shallow waters or in areas where they are periodically cut off from the ocean. For example, mudskippers can live in both saltwater and freshwater, but they prefer brackish waters like those found in deltas and estuaries. These fish typically inhabit areas where the water level fluctuates frequently, such as marshes, swamps, creeks, and river mouths. Because of this, they spend a lot of time out of the water and have adapted to survive in both environments. The mudskipper is named after its ability to skip across the surface of the water, which is why you might see it listed as a saltwater fish. However, because it lives in brackish waters, it's actually more closely related to freshwater fish. Their bodies are flat and elongated with small scales and large fins, which allows them to navigate tight spaces between rocks and vegetation, while also propelling themselves forward when they are in the water. They also have small mouths that lack teeth, so instead of eating larger prey, they consume small invertebrates like crustaceans and worms. Mudskippers are usually between 7 to 12 inches long, but the largest recorded specimen was over 19 inches long. The colors of their back and sides vary depending on where they live, but they tend to be gray or brown with green or gold stripes or spots. On the underside, they are usually white or cream-colored with hints of yellow or orange. Walking on land requires a lot of energy, so it's no surprise that mudskippers need to take frequent breaks. In between their adventures on dry land, they head back to the water to rest and recover before setting off again on their travels. While they're in the water, they feed on small invertebrates like crustaceans and worms, which give them the energy they need to keep moving. When mudskippers are on land, they use a variety of methods to get around. Some species, like the giant mudskipper, can simply flop onto their side and drag themselves along the ground using their fins. Other species, like the sand goby, use a technique called inchworming, where they lift their front end off the ground and move their body forward in a series of loops. There are even some species that can stand on their fins, like little legs, and walk in a manner similar to that of a lizard. Different species of fish have different ways of getting around on land, but all of them are highly adapted to their environment and able to cover distances of up to several kilometers in a single day. So what do mudskippers eat on land? Surprisingly, they don't eat anything at all. Instead, they rely on the food they eat in the water to keep them alive on land. When they are in the water, they feed on small invertebrates such as crustaceans and worms, which are rich in nutrients and easy to digest. These meals give them the energy they need to stay active on land and carry out essential functions such as reproduction. By conserving their energy while on land, mudskippers are able to make the most of their time in the water, feeding and growing. Now you might be wondering, why do fish need to walk on land in the first place? One reason is to escape predators. By being able to walk on land, fish can get away from predators that can't follow them out of the water, such as sharks or other large fish. This allows them to live in areas with less competition for food. Another reason is to find new feeding grounds. Walking on land allows fish to access areas of land that are rich in insects or other small animals that they can eat. This can be especially beneficial in areas where the fish's normal food sources are scarce. Additionally, walking on land can help fish to disperse and colonize new habitats. By walking from one body of water to another, fish can establish new populations in areas that are suitable for them to live. This can help to increase genetic diversity and ensure the survival of the species. Finally, walking on land can help fish to avoid changing water conditions. For example, if a body of water starts to dry up, the fish can walk to another source of water where it can continue to live. This ability to move from one body of water to another can help fish to survive changes in their environment and ensure the continuation of their species. Mud skippers typically live for 2 to 4 years, although some individuals may live longer. Their lifespan can be affected by factors such as predation, habitat destruction, and climate change. Despite their small size and humble appearance, mud skippers play an important role in their ecosystem. They are an important food source for larger fish and birds, and their burrowing activities help to aerate the mud and soil where they live. While the mud skipper is perhaps the most famous example of a fish that can walk on land, they are certainly not the only ones. In fact, there are many other species of fish that have this amazing ability. Let's take a look at just a few of them. The mud skipper is part of a group of fish called amphibious fish, which includes several other genera, such as the sandfish, the goby, the archerfish, and the paradise fish. These fish are found in both freshwater and marine environments, and they typically inhabit shallow waters, or areas that are periodically cut off from the ocean. Let's start with the sandfish. Sandfish are small, flat-bodied fish that are perfectly adapted for life on the seabed. They have large pectoral fins that they use to crawl along the bottom of rivers and streams. Some species of sandfish are even able to jump out of the water and onto land, where they can wriggle around using their flexible spines. Next, we have the goby. Goby fish are small, colorful fish that are often kept as pets. But did you know that some species of gobies can also walk on land? The red-cheeked goby, for example, can jump from the water and glide along the surface of the sand, using its pelvic fin as a kind of sled. This allows them to travel long distances in search of food or mates. Then there's the archerfish. Archerfish are found in the coastal waters of the Pacific Ocean, and they are known for their ability to shoot down their prey using a powerful jet of water. But what many people don't realize is that archerfish are also amphibious fish. They can leave the water and walk on land for short periods of time, during which they can hunt for prey, such as insects or small frogs. Finally, let's take a look at the paradise fish. Paradise fish are beautiful, colorful fish that are popular in the pet trade. But these fish are also surprisingly amphibious. They are able to walk on land using their modified pectoral fins, which they can also use to climb up waterfalls and rapids. As you can see, the mud skipper is not alone in its ability to walk on land. In fact, there are many other species of fish that have this amazing ability. So next time you see a fish out of water, don't be surprised if it takes a stroll on land. We hope you enjoyed learning about the amphibious fish, including the mud skipper. If you want to learn more about these fascinating creatures, we encourage you to do your own research and explore the amazing world of nature. Remember, there is always something new to discover. Thank you for watching, and we hope you will continue to learn and explore with us.